has decided to hold the lift. It says there 2 people. Because I'm here by myself, she doesn't want to move the lift. So we're going to stay here and be looking at each other. You're going to be famous today. You can see it says 2 people. Of all people, it should be me running from you. You about telling me 1 person in the lift. Let's stay there then. Let's be watching each other. Hold the lift. I hope you know this is kidnapping. Holding somebody without their fucking will. Holding the lift. Because what? This is your house, right? Why are you holding the lift? Explain yourself. Why are you holding the lift?
Why you do this?
Let the lift go. Why am I doing what? I don't want to talk to you. Let the lift go. Let me come off in my floor. Why are you holding the lift, keeping me in this place?
Why you come in? You say something in this attitude.
Which attitude? Are you my father? I can talk anyhow. Leave the damn lift. I have a fucking date I'm going to. You're keeping the lift. I need to get up. You're holding. Why are you holding? Explain why you're holding the lift.
Could you explain why you say something in this attitude?
But why do we need to be talking to each other? Which attitude? You don't need. Let me just go. I just want to come out of the lift. Let it go. Let me come.
Inside. I have to go out. Why
Then go out then.
you have to go out?
Okay, we'll stay there tomorrow to see this. So she doesn't want the lift to go because I'm in the lift, and she says it says clearly 2 people. Yeah, that's not true. How long have I been here? That's not true. You're even lying on camera. It's fine. You've told me I wasn't standing there. You will keep this as long as you can. Okay, don't worry. It's your Kanye West shoe. You stay there. I'll send all of this to management. I should leave the lift because of you. I don't die.
Doors opening. And you said I have coronavirus. Oh my God, that's so.
I said it. Now you want to put lies. I said you have corona. You think you have corona? I will be in the lift with you. You think you have corona? I'll be in the lift with you. Continue lying. Look at her head. Continue lying. If you want me to abuse you, I'll abuse you. But I'll not say the wrong thing. Continue lying. We'll stay in this lift. I have time. You have time. Don't worry. You don't know me. I'd rather cancel where I'm going to tonight because of you.
I don't know.
Don't worry. Yes, continue. Continue. Spoil the lift. Don't worry. You could have gone outside. Continue. Now she's pressing alarm. They will see all you are doing. I'm giving up. You want to give up. I'm not saying shit. You want me to say something nice? No. I am the worst nightmare you have. I ain't saying shit. You get fucking tired here. Continue. And I'm going to report you. You ruined the lift. You continue. But she says shit. You let it go. The fuck you think you are? My dad. You held me. Ransom. Unwillingly. You held me in this fucking lift. Don't worry. Continue. Your head like that. Like NSAS. Don't worry. Give up. You give me. Oh, now you're leaving. Okay. I have everything. Fucking idiot. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Bye.
Take on slowly. Baby, you know I go give you no wahala. I no get wahala. When you hold me, you know I go love you, give you no wahala. I no get wahala. Wahala, 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 I no get wahala.
Was good.
We are back. It only took like 2 months.
Many seasons. You said we're back. Like remember Coming to America when they made the reference?
You're so good at bringing up things that are going to be relevant.
To Trading Places. Mortimer,
Yes.
we're back. Yeah, we're back. It didn't have soul. It was very Marcus Martinez.
You know, McDonald's gang. You know.
No, I apologize. Now I know.
Speak of Coming to America too. You see the announcement when it's dropping.
Yes, remember it was no, I didn't know the dates, but I know, wrote to me and told us it was coming. Pause. And then I forgot what event we were in where we saw Mr. Blade himself.
Yep.
Remember?
Well, yes, I do remember that. But basically, it was supposed to come out regularly through Paramount.
Okay.
But I guess because of certain things, Amazon picked it up, so they're gonna drop it on December 18th on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly what happened. He didn't tell me exactly what happened, but he explained to me somehow like
that's how it's headed.
Yeah. Well, because of the pandemic,
right?
etc. So it was like a $100 million+ deal that they did to bring it to Amazon instead.
No, that's right. That's a legendary movie. I think a lot of people are gonna find a way to get that. So I'm sure Amazon will win off of that.
So looking forward to that. It's supposed to drop December 18th on Amazon.
You heard it here first.
Boom.
But yes, welcome back, people. Because I was like, a weird ass segue. So coming to American news.
I mean, you brought it up, and I was like,
no, I am at fault. But yes, welcome back. This is episode 63.
63.
63. Wow. It's been a while, of course. Mandem has been. I think you have touring the world, hopping on flights.
What?
Changing time zones.
I don't even know what an airplane looks like. You think I've been on flights? Come on, bro.
Yeah, when you get on a plane, you really don't see the outside of the plane.
I don't even have
unless you're talking about teachers. Oh, well, you don't need a passport to go to certain parts of the world.
And my license expired because the DMV has been closed. So,
oh wow!
I don't know what you heard, but
you love a good lie.
Look, I've been quarantined, bro. When's the last time you saw me? Don't answer that, but it's fine. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, I was about to drop date, place, and time.
Nah, it's fine. You know, we weren't outside on my birthday for no reason.
Yes, yes. You're happy belated again. I think both our birthdays. We haven't recorded since both our birthdays.
You know, I'm very happy.
Virgo season has come and gone, and we're very thankful.
You know, I've been telling everyone that I'm celebrating until March because I'm not going to allow COVID to cancel my birthday. So
I'm not mad at that.
Until March. I have until March to continue celebrating. So like I said, if you see me outside in a few months with, a margarita in my hand and it's snowing, don't say anything.
Act accordingly.
Just know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you keeping margarita cold if it's snowing.
That's it. Niggas out here getting COVID, coughing and shit. Nope. I'm waiting until December to start my coughing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely scary that we're jumping into flu season with COVID still hosting this party.
We're about to approach a year of being on lockdown. That's fucking nuts.
Insane. Afro Nation really never happened.
It's true. Are you going to the one they just announced in Vegas?
No, I don't even know where, who, when. No, I'm not. Where 10 or more are gathered, I am not in their presence.
That is so funny. I love how like all of the Bible study that we were advised to follow as kids. Now everything is coming to light now.
From the killer bees to people's sons dying to the pharaoh being sick.
The cicadas.
Bro, it does not end. The natural disasters, half of Cali burning.
It's nuts.
Off a gender reveal. Like,
what?
It's
nuts. I completely forgot about this. So much has happened.
So much is happening. It does not end. 2020 is legit the year of basketball's bust. Like, it is insane. It don't stop.
It says California is still bracing for renewed fire threat from windy weather. It's just the wildfires everywhere. So basically just don't go to Cali for any reason.
Basically.
I honestly don't know why people live there. I do, but I also don't. Because like I can't see myself paying millions of dollars for a property for somebody to flick a cigarette and burn my entire neighborhood down. And I can't do shit about it, but just pick up my shit and not even pick up my shit, just pick up myself and leave. That shit is crazy.
It's insane, bro. It's absolutely
like you fart and you burn your whole city down. That's nuts.
Wow, you're getting it off your chest.
I'm saying, I mean, I've lived in LA. I get it, but I also don't get it. It's like,
I feel like if you've been to the West Coast, I feel like most East Coast people have to like get their West Coast curiosity out.
Yeah, it happens in waves. I agree. I feel like a lot of our New Yorker friends, between you and I, a lot of our New York friends have moved to LA, and they'll come back eventually.
Right after they've gotten it out their system, and it's like, okay, this is just like a flavor of the month type thing, then they move on.
Mm,
I think
this is true.
I think that's what it is, because it's like it's a different speed, yes, so it's interesting, but
Mm,
I don't know, like you go there and after it gets tiresome. Like the LA energy and what the LA people like, it feels like connections and celeb status is just like a currency. Like they
yeah,
celebrate
it's
that.
social climbing.
Yeah, like so that is why it's just not for me. It's not a knock, like it's just not my speed. Like
Yeah, no, don't blame you.
I am a bush boy, so I'm good off just like regular conversation and not I know this person or I know that person. That's just weird convo to me, because it doesn't say anything about your character. It doesn't, like it's weird
Mm,
to me. But Cali's cool. Cali has great weather, beautiful people, but it's just I think it's better in doses. It's like Atlanta to me. Like I enjoy Atlanta. I enjoy being around black people. I enjoy the Southerns, but after a while, I don't, after like a weekend, maybe 3-4 days, I'm like, okay, I need to go back to New York. So I don't know. It's not
we
for me,
shall
but
see.
it's been insane.
Once all those forest fires chase everybody back to New York, we will see. So
Yeah,
rent will be
fires,
cheaper when they come back.
there's earthquakes. Like it's insane. Cali is
Oh,
no joke.
there was an earthquake that I think it happened maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks ago in LA, and everybody I know that just moved to LA was like, "Yo," like they were on the timeline at the same time talking about, "Yo, was that an earthquake? Yo, was that an earthquake?"
Bam,
And I was
that's
sitting
the
here,
LA timeline would be like, did anybody else feel that? Like,
dog, I
like,
was crying.
it's weird. It's weird, but it is what it's 2020. It's been basketballs after basketballs. Like there's gonna be. I feel like by the time this post, there would be some wild shit that has already happened, whether it be from your president here or from your president there. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's ugly. And then your prime minister, because you're also from Initland. It's just
You keep
stressful all
you
sides.
keep trying you keep trying to relate me to Boris Johnson.
I don't, when was the last time you were in England?
I
Can't answer that.
last year, I don't know, I remember.
I remember. Pepper
That's
Trons,
crazy.
remember.
Well, anyways, we are going
Pepper
to move forward.
Trons.
Yo, you love making shit hot. That's why I can't be telling you when I travel.
Fuego. Nah, but it's crazy because like a good amount of Nigerians are either there's also Canada, but I feel like a good amount of Nigerians are either in Nigeria, in England, or America, and them leaders are wild.
This is true.
Canadian guy was doing blackface, and it seems so chill compared to everything else we're dealing with.
I agree.
That's absolutely crazy. But I guess we can tackle the elephant in the room, which
let's talk about it.
The biggest news out. So I think first things first, I want to big up the feminist group. I think you do as well. We spoke about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Insane what they're doing, like, and this shit is just, it feels like they just got to work ASAP and got shit done all within a week. So if you guys don't know, has it been a week yet? I don't think it's been a full 7-day thing yet. Since it's been ongoing, but I feel like this new protest where they're blockades, people are showing up to different parts of Lagos and people are showing up to different parts of Nigeria. The Sars movement has reignited itself within the last week or so. And for those who don't know, Sars is part of the police system that
Special anti-robbery squad.
Yeah, that focuses on armed robbery, supposedly, but then they started basically robbing everybody and, well, robbing and killing. So Nigerian youths have been their biggest targets. Nigerian youths have stood up, banded together, and started protesting and called for an end to SARS.
Yeah.
Days into it, the people that are in charge in your country said they would end SARS, but create a new group, and the new group is called SWAT. SWAT, I think, is weapons and something,
Special weapons and tactics, I think.
some dumb shit. And that's what it is now. SARS is responsible for a lot of youths' death. The first thing they started doing was robbing and attacking those who seem to look rich. I guess look rich, just stand out. If you have colored hair, you have tattoos, you got an iPhone, you have a laptop, whatever it is you have, the suspicion is you live in a third world country, you're not supposed to have that, or you're of a certain age, and median income for somebody your age should be X amount of naira, so you shouldn't be able to afford the phone you have, the clothes you're wearing, the MacBook you're carrying, the laptop, whatever it is.
Yeah, and
The
a lot
car
of
you're
that,
driving.
a lot of that is really based on envy, because you have to think about the police officers that
Right.
are, most of the police officers that are running around Lagos, running around Abuja, etc., all these different cities across the country, they're not really making a livable wage. It's not like in America
At
where
all.
most of the police departments are funded by, the government. Most, not all. I would say most of the, especially the major police departments around the country, are heavily funded. In fact, overfunded, and the police are all doing, side jobs and you know, being hired as security for nightclubs, etc. I mean, doing normal measures, not during COVID, obviously, but you know, the police in the states are not suffering financially for the most part. But in Nigeria, it's the opposite. Like, how can you tell me I'm looking at the salaries now. I have the list of salaries that was sent to me. How can you say the inspector general of police is making an annual salary of 8 million naira?
Hmm.
How can you say that a police recruit is making an annual salary of 100,000 naira? That's nothing. Monthly salary of under 10K naira. Monthly salary. So how are you surprised when these very grossly underpaid police officers are running around envious of these kids who literally spend their monthly salary on their breakfast every day? 10,000 naira is under what, $30? $30? That's what some of these guys are making a month. All right, let's look at let's say Inspector General of Police. Monthly salary of about under $2,000. That's nothing. You're the Inspector General of Police, and you're making under $2,000 a month. Of course, you're going to be robbing and stealing from people. You're not making a livable wage. It's sad. I think the entire system needs to be completely overhauled. There's no reason why the Deputy Inspector General, Commissioner of Police, like all these high level positions are not making livable wages. And you have all these sergeants, all these people that have these big titles when you look at their ranks, but they're not making any money. So of course they're in the streets robbing and harassing kids that are, some of them are entrepreneurs, some of them are artists, some of them just come from, middle class or upper class backgrounds and are just living their lives. The internet has changed the playing field for a lot of people, and it's unfortunate that law enforcement over there hasn't evolved with the people.
Supposed public servant. Well, public servant. It's crazy because if we compare it to America's situation, we have defund the police here, which is getting money out that getting money out of, off the group itself, where they're just spending money on certain things that could transfer to other groups. But
Yeah.
in Nigeria, it's the opposite. Because
Hmm.
even with people speaking against police brutality, there's still people saying these officers should be paid more.
Well,
So because
because it's the truth. Because at the end of the day, it's similar problems, but for different reasons, right? Nigeria is a very unstable place, but only people that have lived there and have experienced Nigeria can understand how unstable it is and how most of the citizens there have just accepted the instability and are just complacent about it. So I think the surprise that everyone's seeing now is you have a bunch of youth that have decided to stand up and not accept what's going on over there, which is great, and it's definitely something that
shout out to the youth, we
shout out to FK Aburu,
yes,
Mo, there's a bunch of cats, Omajua, Wale. There's a bunch of people that are out there that are really and again, it's decentralized, so I'm not trying to say anybody's a leader of any of the protests, but there's a bunch of people's efforts that have gone into what's going on now as early as 2017. So it's just great that everybody is playing their part to make sure that the movement that's happening.
I think it's needed because every movement in our continent from time, like there's always been a face in which they could just point at, and you cut the head off the movement and it just stalls. Most of the names that ring bells throughout the continent died in their 20s, 30s. Obviously, Fela lived a longer life, but most of the revolutionaries that we know of, they don't get to live as long as we'd like. The dictators, we hear their name for years, and they're around or they're around for a long time. So I think it's a blessing that we have the youth as a whole making this movement. It's not one person giving speeches and getting people out. Like everybody's on it. I'm not sure if you guys are on social media, on Twitter. I don't know what Facebook does. Facebook is usually a month away. But Twitter itself is just on it. Like everyone's shouting out location. If somebody needs an ambulance, they tweet about it. Somebody just got shot. Somebody just got hit, and an ambulance is sent there. Somebody just got arrested. They get a name. They get lawyers to the scene. They get whoever out or a group of people out. They're asking for money because they need this, or if it's food during, I've seen people talk about how good the food during the protest has been. So it's a beautiful thing to witness. And I'm so proud of Nigeria. I think being the most populated black country, or just the country with the most black citizens, like I think Nigeria owes it to itself to figure some things out, to branch out from this course it's on to break through. So I think if good things happen in Nigeria, I think it affects how the diaspora moves. I think it affects how the continent is. And obviously we're seeing a move in other countries where there are a lot of protests going on. And we spoke about this with the Black Lives Movement. We knew it would have its effect all over the world because black teens or black youths are connected, they share the sentiments. A lot of them are going, well, not a lot, I think practically all of them are going through some kind of attack or just some kind of just being victimized by the powers that be. So I think this End SARS movement is huge, and obviously End SWAT, since they're making a new department which they are just gonna redirect all these men that are in the streets just attacking youths into a new department and send them right back out. Yes, officers are needed. Because Nigeria is not really giving us defund the police energy yet. We're not in Nigeria, so we can't speak as much. So they're not saying get these cops off the street. It's like get these cops paid and get this department that you created within the cops, which is SARS, off the street. Because their excuse is obviously we see something that is, you could be in an Uber. We've had a lot of people speak on being in taxis where they were minding their business and they were just yanked out and taken to a station, and they were told to write some kind of confession for a crime they had nothing to do with or didn't even know of. And then they get pressed into sending money just to get out the situation. So obviously these people need money, but there are a lot of professions in Nigeria where people are underpaid and they aren't victimizing the youth. So I think there is a problem, but also these people are overdoing certain. Obviously, Sars is not moving the right way. So I don't know I don't know how to put it without sounding insensitive to the situation, but a lot has to change. A lot has to change, and I think it's just amazing to see the youth do what they're doing, band together, help each other out. If you care about this movement, I think we've all been saying, we've said it to each other as well, just like donate if you can. Obviously, once something is anti-government, there are going to be things shut down where you're unable to reach out to people and help out the way you want to, but we all have to do our research and find ways to get money to people helping out. And shout out to the Feminist Co., shout out to Sega Link, everybody that has helped create what's happening, whether it be educating others, starting that little push that leads to where we are now. Like it's amazing seeing every part of it. And shout out to that diasporans protesting all over the world, really, because I've seen marches in UK, I've seen in NYC, Cali, Houston, some being led by celebs that are not in the country right now, some without any big names, Well, whichever way you slice it, though, it's a huge thing going on. And I know everybody knows a Nigerian, it's like it's a hard thing to not know a Nigerian because I feel like we're everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think, if you care about it, do some research and see how you can help.
No, I agree. And I think that there's a bunch of artists that I've seen on the timeline that have been raising awareness about what's going on over there. I just listened to Joe Budden's podcast earlier, and he was highlighting it and drawing his audience to pay attention to what's going on in Nigeria. So shout out to him, Rory and Ma. And Cardi talked about it. I saw it on her timeline. The City Girls were posting about it. There's a bunch of artists that were just like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on in Nigeria?" It's unfortunate that we're trending for atrocities, but I hope that this is kind of like our version of the Arab Spring, or our version of the BLM movement as it started, where the youth are kind of not allowing our parent generation to destroy our future in Nigeria.
Facts.
Boom.
And shame on these old heads. Shame on these old heads stopping the youth them from doing what they have to do. It's absolutely sad.
Yeah.
It's not shocking. It's just sad.
Yeah, I mean, and we know what they're trying to do. They're trying to now figure out who they can target as a leader of the movement, so they can bribe them or coerce them into quelling all the unrest. But the only issue is there is no leader. It's decentralized, and that's what I love about it. They can't really pull anybody aside and say you started this, or we're holding you accountable for all the protests and da.
Right. I saw they try to pin some things on David O. So it's interesting because I know the way cops in certain countries work is they just try to attach you to something and then pin certain things against you, or have you force your hand, basically. So you have to step back so they can move on with continue doing what they do. So shout out to everybody that's a part of it, and shame to anyone derailing it.
I also advise everyone that's listening to watch Journey of an African Colony on Netflix. BAWO, have you seen it yet?
No, I saw HA's tweets earlier.
I'm actually HA's actually. I'm talking to HA right now. He actually might download.
Okay.
But yeah, it's something I watched. I watched it over the weekend. I will say over the weekend, a few days ago, and it was great. I thought it was really, really insightful, and it's all things that you kind of pick up bits and pieces of
Right.
of information about how Nigeria formed and the companies that were established to kind of that were involved in the slave trade, that were involved in taking all the natural resources out of Nigeria and help, but I didn't know that it was so deep, so much deeper than that. Like, I didn't realize that during the World War that they basically stopped Nigerians from being able to like take part in accessing their own resources, and they basically exported all the natural resources to Britain so that their economy didn't collapse.
Right. Well, I think if you look at any European country and you think about how they're a superpower with whatever it is they produce, whatever their natural resource is, and you can just do the math and know that these countries are involved heavily in the African economy, So, like England being a superpower, France being a superpower, like all these countries are producing whatever it is that's needed to hold that status.
Yeah, this is like everything I thought I know about Nigeria is a big scam. Basically, Britain has been running the show all this time and basically allowing. Nigeria's been set up for failure, and they picked the cultural group that they were going to use as puppets to control everybody else, and we're still seeing it. And I didn't even realize, like, you can see the symbolism even in the Nigerian flag. You have the Y, you have the eagle on the top, and the two horses on the other sides, right? So the horses would represent the Igbos and the Yorubas, and then the eagle represents who? The Northerners, the Fulanis, the Hausas. So the British have already planned out, from the early 1900s, they already planned out how the following 100 years were going to be, and that's what we're dealing with now over there. So it's unfortunate.
It really is.
Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah. So 10,000. Yeah, we spoke a bit about the continent in itself. There's been protests in Namibia, in Congo. Kenya is continuing. Cote d'Ivoire. So it's all over. I think a lot of youths are emboldened. They are speaking out. They are questioning what the status quo, And I think it can only be great for the continent because the powers that be are just happy with the way things are, happy with the checks and balances, with the colonizers, and the youth just don't have that same respect or that same fear that they have.
Did you see the clip of the governor of the Sanwo-Olu talking to President Buhari, and he was just laughing when they were talking about the demands that the protesters wanted from the government, and President Buhari was just laughing in his face.
I'm not surprised. I don't paint any of these people as people who care.
So I'm waiting for Eche to dial in so we can continue the convo, because he was really passionate on the timeline.
Okay. So
Eche is on. Hey, Eche.
Eche got on?
What's good, yo? What's good, boss?
Since it's multiple calls now, a friend of the show, Eche.
How y'all doing?
Everything is great.
Man's is like, what is it, 10 o'clock over there, 10:30?
Yeah, 10:24.
Okay. Eche, what island are you on right now, bro?
Right.
Eche is on an island.
Let's talk about that.
Man.
Are you going to flex on us poor people soon?
Come on, man. Listen. I think I just embraced my responsibility as an enjoyment minister this year, Somebody has to fly the flag.
Chop life.
Somebody has to do it.
All the ministers
I'm back in Cali, though.
Sorry to hear, bro. How's the air over there now?
I know my condolences.
No, I know he's been chopping life. I feel like he's gonna look at LA as the ghetto right now, because Cali as a whole as the ghetto, because he's been chopping life in different islands.
No, it's better now, though. Thankfully,
Okay.
I can't complain. It's better compared to when I was out the country and I saw the weather. I was like, "Fuck no!" I extended my flight immediately. I'm like,
Fam.
bruh.
I feel like everywhere HA goes, there's a flight extension. I forgot what East African country he was in, and he was like, "Yeah, I got here and I just extended my flight." HA is
Yeah,
always
Yeah, bro.
looking for a flight.
I think
Yeah.
I'm always like in the moment, right? Because sometimes with life, you think you're living by a calendar, and you need to be able to be in that moment and just realize, like, yo, if you need to extend the flight, you extend the flight. You know what I mean?
I respect
Now,
that.
obviously,
I'm the king of the one way.
there's
So
some flights you can't extend because if I book a flight to Nigeria, I'm taking that return trip. Okay? But if I'm still within Africa, then I can extend it. You feel me? So
yeah, for sure.
God, I see what you are doing for others.
It's funny. When you dialed in, we were in the middle of talking about the state of the Sars protests, and then also the journey of an African colony documentary that we were just talking about.
It feels weird because it feels like everything is it felt like deja vu because first where the protests are happening, and then you watch it and you're like, wait, they protested then too, and they were really about the shit back then too. You're like, yo, how come niggas didn't think this was important to let me know? Like we're standing on the shoulders of a big giant, you know? I don't know, man.
Well, we know why they don't want us to know. You know, it's like our movement, this protest, they're making it seem like disrespectful, something that's anti-culture, anti-tradition. And it's just the more you get into it, you realize like you really got to fight for what you want in this continent. And it's not just like you're fighting the African powers that be, like there's strings attached to this people, you know, because it's more than the IC. So I'm like, I was telling today earlier in this podcast, like I'm so proud of this generation, the Gen Z. They don't give a fuck. Like it does not matter whether it be Nigeria, it be Namibia, Congo, Kenya, Cote d'Ivoire, wherever it is in the continent, these people do not care at all. Like people are calling Buhari a bad boy, like on TV. Said Buhari has been a bad boy. Like, fam.
Yeah, man.
The governor was talking, they playing fam over his like these people don't care. So
they'll disrespect you. They'll disrespect you. And the thing is, it's like I think if you study like history, like the Great Depression era, right? They grew up in the Great Depression. The fear that came from that, they passed that on to their kids, but then their kids were a little bit more free, right? And then by the time their kids had kids, that was then the baby boomers, and then we saw obviously what that energy the baby boomers came with. So I think it's basically history repeating itself in that same cycle, right? Like now, another crash happened. I forget what generation was before the millennials, but our millennial generation came into play, right? We know our parents were a little bit more scared, more all about respect your elders. We came in and we're half and half. We're like, respect our elders, yeah, but talk shit, get clapped. You feel me? So it's that half and half. But now these Gen Z, they do not give two fucks, bro. That's all. Like, I was telling someone, like, what scares me is I just turned 30 last month, right? But I feel so old because the Gen Z people make you just feel super old. Like, I remember when we were in college, you're using maybe Twitter just came out, Facebook just came out. You're like, all right, cool. I'm hip. I know shit. I know what's going on. And then in a matter of like 5 years, you've gone from I know this technology to wait, what's TikTok? What's Snapchat? What the fuck else is there? And so much shit is coming up, and you're like, yo, I'm feeling I'm feeling older because this technology is also speeding up the rate at which things are happening, and you're like, whoa. What did you say you could do on TikTok again? And I'm like, bro, I can't even use TikTok, bro, because I'm like, I don't even know where to start with all the video editing software, but obviously it's just crazy.
Like, I see it, I appreciate it, but I just don't even know where they start. I don't know how they do that shit, but they make us, you're definitely right, they make us feel old, but I think if there's a group of people to comfortably pass a torch to, even if I think they probably just snatched it out of our hands, it's this generation because they are doing everything needed here. We thought we were just gonna ask cops to stop killing us. They were like, "Yeah, defund the police, get the police out of here." Back home, you're seeing as soon as they said end SARS and made SWAT, they dropped that shit quick. Like now, we're moving for you to end SWAT, and I know the powers that be Nigeria are sweating a little bit, but they just probably gonna think like this is gonna end in like a week or so. But this generation is not that generation. Even in Port Harcourt, like the governor dead said, like, "Yo, nobody's out," and the streets were packed. So this is definitely a different time, and that every like this whole generation is on, whether it be in the continent or outside the continent. It's a beautiful thing.
It is, and I think someone was making a point that a lot of this too is we're all watching each other, right? Because everybody saw what happened in the U.S. this summer, and people are just like having awakenings. They're like, "Yo, this is actually unacceptable." Because I mean, I go to Nigeria almost every December. Tunde knows. Like we've been going for at least for me since 2013 each December, and I think last December one of my guys was going out with his girl in the car and Sars stopped him, and he didn't know that you could actually drive in Nigeria with your international license. He wasn't aware of that because he was just driving, and then they're like, "Yo, where's your Nigerian license?" And he was like, "I don't have a Nigerian license," and they're like, "Well, you're either going to jail or you have to pay us off." And he's like, "Well, I don't even have cash on me." He's like, they're like, "It's fine. We'll go to an ATM." He went to an ATM and 80,000 naira. 80,000 naira. They took 80,000 naira from him. And I remember asking him, like, "Yo, didn't you know you could have stopped that?" He's like, "No," because he was terrified. You know. So I was like, "Wow." I mean, and that's what I say. It happens so often that so many people like normalize it, right? Like you're like, "Okay, cool. This is just the cost of being in Nigeria," but it's unacceptable. You know, across board. Totally unacceptable.
It's absolutely so sad because I think SARS, maybe some of them are realizing that these people might lead to them getting paid more. I don't think they see that yet, that if things go as planned for most of this protesters, the officers are actually going to get paid better than they do now.
Yeah, but see, they don't see it that way because they're getting paid more now. You have to think about it, right? This extortion thing is almost millions of dollars a month in racket, right? So like to them, this is supplementing their income on a huge level. Like just imagine being able to stop anyone, whether it's a governor's kid or whether it's a commissioner's kid, anybody, and be like, "Yo, run me your account." Bro, you're making millions per day, right? So to them, they're not thinking about it that way because they're going to be losing money and losing the lifestyle that they've probably gotten used to, you know? So.
No, you make sense. You're definitely making sense. So I know Tunde wanted to ask you a few more questions about the doc.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been listening to y'all go back and forth. I've been just soaking it on and learning. But dog, I saw Eche's tweets earlier, and I was just like, "Yo, the same things that were making you heated were the same things that I kept pausing the documentary and be like, no way, this actually fucking happened." Also,
you were pausing it too? Because I kept on pausing and rewinding, like, nah, dog, I didn't hear that shit right.
I kept pausing it for a few reasons. So, I mean, most people that know me know that my mom's family is from Lagos and also Ife. My dad's family is from Ibadan. So most of the things that I know about Yoruba culture, Nigerian history, etc., I got from my mom's side because we have our relationship with Lagos and the monarchy there, and our history with Ife and the monarchy there. So I've only learned what has been taught to me from my grandparents or my aunts and my uncles, given what they experienced growing up and given what their parents experienced growing up. So when I couldn't find any of the things they were telling me in history books, you read history books all your life and you look up Nigeria and they talk about what the colonial version of the story is, right?
Yep.
They never talk about, what happened, during slavery, before slavery, etc., what happened after slavery in a way that doesn't make the British people, in a way that doesn't make the British people look like they saved a bunch of, barbarian, villagers that didn't wear clothes and all this crazy shit, which we all know isn't the truth, right? So, part of what's interesting to me, especially when you mentioned Pelawura, Alimoto Pelawura, right? Do you know who's great? Do you know who's great grandson? Who's her great grandson?
No, I don't.
Tinubu.
Are you serious?
That's her great grandson. So her job in the 1920s was, okay, so for those that don't know, Chief Alimoto Pelawura was she was a Nigerian trader back in the 1800s. She led the Lagos Market Women's Association. And they're basically a women's advocacy group that they basically were like, if you look at any of the way the Italians kind of run all the unions, or used to run the unions in the United States in the for the last few hundred years, she basically ran the equivalent of that in Yoruba land, which later became Nigeria. And she was also a really important ally to Herbert Macaulay, who a lot of people consider as the founder of Nigerian nationalism. Like, he did everything possible to bring all these different cultural groups together. Yeah. And I believe his maternal grandfather was Samuel Ajayi Crowther, who was responsible for converting the English Bible into Yoruba, which helped a lot of Yoruba speakers kind of develop like a common version of Yoruba together, because there were hundreds of dialects and variations of Yoruba and Yoruba-like languages. I mean, BAWO is Shakiri, and they speak, a very distinct language that is maybe 70, 80% intelligible to Yoruba.
Yeah, probably higher, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if up to people like him, any language that was that similar to what is now considered Yoruba would probably be considered Yoruba, even though they were completely distinct and separate city-states run by completely separate and distinct kings and chiefs and so forth. They didn't even talk to each other really, but they all respected that they came from one origin, and Oduduwa and Ife and all that stuff. So it's just interesting that the same people that are involved with the foundation of Nigeria and liberating, again, quote unquote, liberating us from the British government, the same ancestors that were doing all those things in the 1800s, their descendants are still running shit now. Still.
It's generational shit.
It's nuts. But yeah, I didn't know Alimoto Pelawura was in our culture. I don't know if they do this in Igbo culture. Actually, you'll have to tell me. But do they have women in your culture that basically run all the markets, or that control? Same thing. That control trade.
Remember in the documentary they talked about the Aba women's protest, right? That was the market protest as well.
Got
it. So it's basically, I think it's just almost the same across Nigeria. Like women ran shit, and Oluwa was a powerful woman, So, and even if you really think deeper into this, right? Like, I think like a Tinubu, or like in their family history, they probably understand this history, and because she was, back then maybe formal education wasn't as strong, so a lot of it would probably be traditional or oral history, right? It's something that I could see being passed down in their family, and then they understand the influence that they have, right? So like a Tinubu now, or like they'll know like, this is our history. This is why we run Lagos, right? And then their connections run deep. Like, imagine going all the way back before independence. You're talking about that's a different level of connection. You can't fake that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
those are the Rockefellers of
bloodlines
Nigeria.
across the board.
Yeah,
So what?
Those are the Rockefellers of Nigeria. Like they've just been running shit for so long. The money's too long.
It's way too long. Where do you even want to start? You know what I mean? That type of bloodline is long.
Essentially, Tinubu is the current market leader of Lagos.
Basically.
So it's stayed in the family for hundreds of years, and people don't even realize it because they don't share the same last name.
He's robbing Lagos blind, and his maternal or his ancestor was trying to at least make Lagos better.
And fight for the people, yeah. I mean, it's sad, man.
Fight for the people.
What were your major takeaways from the doc?
I mean, I've been struggling because even before I watched the doc, right? I've been personally struggling about why Nigeria doesn't do a great job documenting our history, right? And the thing is, I'm someone who's a history buff. Like my background is political science. That's why I studied in school very heavily, right? So I've always been a serious history buff. And the reason why I love history is you can literally see patterns repeating itself over and over again in humankind, right? And when you understand history, it might allow you to be able to avoid pitfalls that people in the past made. But in Nigeria, we're disconnected from our history, and it shows up in some of the choices that happen time and time again. And for me, I remember during the lockdown period, one thing I learned about my own family was they posted on Twitter a picture or a letter of the people who built the Imo State Airport. And then I'm finding out on Twitter that my granddad was actually one of the main people behind building that airport, and nobody ever said that to me, right? So imagine I'm finding out a huge piece of history of your granddad donated the most money. He was the one who led this charge, and I'm finding out on Twitter. This isn't something that anybody in my family had passed down. And it was like, why do we? So even like just in general, right? If I'm finding that out from Twitter, there are other examples in my life or even everyone's life where you don't know when you're tied to your heritage, right? It gives you more confidence. You're able to say, I'm a Rockefeller. This is the lineage I'm coming from. When I step into rooms, I know who I am and I know where I'm coming from and I know where I'm going to, right? I know the standards are expected of me and the standards I'm here to uphold. And I think for me, for example, on my dad's side of the family is all lawyers, right? Lawyers, federal judges across the board. I'm the first son. When I was born, I was encouraged to pursue law, right? And I would always feel like pigeonholed because I'm like, I don't know that I'm supposed to be a lawyer, but I like reading and I like debating niggas, so maybe I'm supposed to be a lawyer. And you know you're a Nigerian kid, so they try to push you into one of those lawyer, engineer, doctor, accountant.
Those are the only options.
So I'm going through life and I'm like, man, I really don't think I'm supposed to be a lawyer, yo. Like, this shit is weird, but I mean, I've seen other Nigerian kids end up doing what they want to do, so why should my own story be different, right? And then it wasn't until I got to law school, while I was in law school, I was like, yo, I really, if I thought I wasn't supposed to be a lawyer, now I know for sure that if I'm your lawyer, you're going to jail. I'm going to keep it real with you, you know? But what happened was I discovered that I had a passion for entrepreneurship, right? But then it felt like I was coming across as a black sheep to my family because, like, yo, you're an entrepreneur. Only for me to go back to my friends and be like, yeah, this is what I'm trying to pursue. And they're like, oh, yeah. I mean, it makes sense because your mom's dad was like one of the greatest Igbo businessmen that ever lived. I'm like, huh? Like, nobody thought that would be something to mention or drop in the pot, because that would have definitely infused me with more confidence, right? I didn't have to stumble through life to eventually discover what I was meant to be. There's one of my favorite quotes is, sometimes a person discovers their destiny on the road that they took to avoid it, right? And it's always poisoning to me because I'm like, yo, sometimes you just set out on the road and you think that you're running away from your destiny, but it's on that same road that you will find what you're looking for. And I think for a lot of Nigeria's problems, it's because we're disconnected from our history, we're disconnected from our lineage. We act like we're just isolated in the sands of time, which is not accurate, right? And I think watching the doc just infuriated me more and more because you're like, these white people, man. These white motherfuckers take everything, you know? And even to the fact that, like, even when they document, they lie too. When they write about the history, they lie as well. So you're like, you can't even trust anything that they say or anything in the history book, right? I didn't even know that, like, Lagos, like, when you watch the documentary, they talk about how Lagos, there were two kings who were fighting each other, and then they basically decimated each other, and one of them had to leave, and then that's how the British walked into Lagos, right? Or the battles that were lost. Like, sometimes it makes it seem like the British just walked into Nigeria and they said, hey, we're here to rule over you. And people were like, yo, it's lit. You know, nobody tells us these stories about the fights, the struggles, the people who really went the distance against these people, right? And the Wakanda type stories really, like, where it's like, I would rather what he said, I'd rather swim in the ocean or than that. You know, you guys know the quote, I think, from Wakanda, where Michael B. Jordan, where Michael B. Jordan talks about.
Sink where my ancestors that jump ship, it's like that,
Yeah, so I mean, it's just to get back to your point, man. It made my blood boil. Like, I was like, yo, why are we just learning about this, right? Like, if you think about the protests today, if you knew about a Michael Imodu, right, who led the first union protest, or the Ivor Valley protest, like, these were, or even like, think about the feminist coalition today leading the charge, right? If they knew about Raffaele Kuti, you know, Peralua, these are women who have come before them and who showed us that they stand on, you know. So it's just those examples of how much we've lost our history really hurts, you know. And I really just hope that we use technology now to really help document our history and even document what's happening right now. Like, imagine, like, 50 years from now, a kid is looking and it's like, yo, what's the feminist coalition? What happened there? You know, and then at that point, maybe their great kid or whoever kid is now leading and they're not tied to it at all. That shit is crazy to me. You know?
Yeah.
No, I think it's absolutely insane because Nigerians don't really know their history, right? And then we get into whenever this diaspora shit happens where Africans and African Americans are going back and forth about history and how, you know, how one side let one side down. And it's just so crazy because we're all hurting when it comes to that part of our lives where people really truly don't know past maybe their great grandfather, if that, maybe their grandfather at most, like the average Nigerian. I don't know how far they could go into their lineage and actually document or give factual information. So it's crazy how much people trust the white man telling us this is how it happened, this is who's to blame. Like, it's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot because I see people argue all the time about, the word Akata or just Americans and African Americans and Africans and the relationship there and how people look down on others. And I'm like, if only people knew how complicated history really is and how much we don't know about it. Because when I tell people I'm in Shakiri and they're like, I don't know, like Yoruba people will tell me, what is the tribe about? What, you know, and I'll be like, the Shakiri people actually have a strong lineage with the Yoruba tribe or the Yoruba culture group. But people don't know any of that. People don't know their history. So I think, like you said, we need to find ways to bring these stories back into our lives and then actually understand what it is to be Nigerian and why we're always fighting with each other, because a lot of this was Nigeria was just put onto us. It was just a bunch of people living their lives a certain way. And then they were just like, you're Nigeria. Like, all our leaders are not Nigerians. Our leaders are over 60 years old. Our country is 60 years old. None of these people care about Nigeria, you know. They have agendas they push, you know. They're looking out for what it is they know, because these people existed before Nigeria existed, you know. And they actually got tales and stories, and they don't want us to know, but they were passed down certain things that they don't care to share. So it's really ugly how this works. And you even saying, Ransom, Fela's mom. A lot of people don't know anything about Fela's mom and how much Fela loved her and how much she fought for women's right, how she was the first to drive. And it's like people, you get a lot of manly men that are pro Fela and don't know how much Fela loved his mom, how he made a song about her and what she stood for,
Mm.
So we have we have a long way to go on both sides.
Yeah, and the Nigerian government killed her too.
Yep.
Yeah, they killed her too. That was another thing. Like, how do you even treat your heroes? How do you respect them? Even going back to recently, one of our oldest people in our village died, and he was a lawyer, and he had all the history of our village, right? And I just remember thinking, like, damn, we should have got this man on a podcast to tell stories that we could pass down. And we never had a chance to document that. He never had a chance to finish his memoirs, right? And it was like you're losing so much history just from the people who still remember how it was back then, and they're dying now, And I think what I wanted to even encourage more and more people to do was really take the time out to document with your parents, with your great grandparents, and have them tell you stories, because it will come in handy down the line. You'll be shocked where they're telling you these stories and wow, I didn't realize it. I'm sure when you watched the documentary, I was shocked that he was able to find that many people who were still around back then to really speak on what happened and the historical perspective. Even from we've been in Nigeria, we know how chaotic Nigeria is, right? So to even see some of the monuments that were still up, all the way in Lokoja with Lord Lugard, I'm like, what? No, where were the field trips when I was in Nigeria? Nobody said any of this to me. Shit, I would have wanted to go on those field trips, just to learn more about the history. But we didn't do any of that. I remember, the funny thing about this whole thing is, I remember when I first moved to America at 16, and I took a U.S. history test, and I scored a 98%. And the teacher was so, flabbergasted, because I was, the only black kid in the class, and she was like, did you cheat? I'm like, no, why would I cheat? Actually, some of these questions were so easy. This is what we learned in Nigeria. So we learned more U.S. history. I learned more U.S. history in Nigeria than I did Nigerian history.
Yeah, and
isn't that mind blowing?
And the irony now is you're learning more about Nigeria in America.
In
Nigeria, because it's just...
I remember thinking how crazy it was, because when I was doing my master's program, I was writing about Nigeria's history. And I would have to do research, right? And I'm going to my school library. I'm like, there's no way these niggas have anything about Nigeria, even whether it's books or anything. And they had it in the U.S. They had more of our history books, more things, more books about our history than I ever read in Nigeria. I'm like, yo, what kind of Twilight Zone moment are we in? It's crazy, Obviously, even you go to the museums, right? All the Benin art in London and in Paris, you're like, yo, this is despicable.
Yep, it's nuts. I just wish that there was a place that Nigerians who are interested in learning the true history of how their very broken and unstable country came together would have resources to do so. If not for this Netflix documentary, even someone like myself, someone like you, people like you, BAWO and Eche, that are actually interested in this stuff, where would we be able to say that we could get information like this before I've seen this documentary?
Nowhere.
Exactly.
Nowhere.
And that's part of the problem. The reason why most you think about everyone that's a super nationalist or super radical about patriotism in places like America or places like France or places like Great Britain is because they accurately document things in ways that really make themselves seem like the victors, of course, as colonizers. But we don't have that same patriotism or nationalism in Nigeria because we don't know our true history. How many Nigerians do you think are learning about Biafra today? Between you both, how many kids do you think know how many millions of people actually died in those days, and the relationships between all the different cultural groups before the Biafran War and what led to the Biafran War, and how the government basically took everything away from the Igbos after that and made them start from scratch. We don't talk about these things.
We don't talk about it. I mean, I think Nigerian independence just passed on October 1st. And I was following this thread on Twitter about the different Nigerian ethnic groups, right? And I was like, yo, I consider myself super Nigerian, but I don't know that I can even name up to 20 ethnic groups. And we're up to 200 and something, 200 plus or 300 plus. And it's like, why aren't we basking in this diversity, right? Why aren't we basking in the beauty of the diversity? I remember going through that whole thread like, wow, this is how the Kanuri people live. This is how the Ohobo people do. Oh, okay, cool. This is how the Chief people live. You're like, what? I'm like, is this shit is some insidious shit? Because to me, I'm like, what would be the harm in if you want a united Nigeria, making people learn about different cultures? And I think some people on my Twitter said the reason why our history is hidden is because a lot of the actors are still alive. So they know that if you know it, like a Buhari, for example, you watch this whole thing, you're like, if I catch that old man, you feel me? Like there's a problem. Like a lot of those guys are still alive today, and they profited off the chaos that they created. You know?
Yeah.
No,
like,
you're
this
definitely
guy called.
right.
I don't know if you guys know about this guy, Theophilus Danjuma, and this guy literally killed 2 heads of state, and he's one of the richest men in Nigeria. Every time I think about that fact, it makes my blood boil. Like I'm talking about he personally killed motherfuckers, like killed heads of state. Like imagine killing a president or killing a head of state. You do that, and you're still like walking around, no consequences. You never went to jail. Crazy. And now you're one of the
how was he able to do that?
It was a coup. Like Aguiyi Ironsi, he was one of the people who killed Aguiyi Ironsi, who was like the second head of state of Nigeria. Literally killed this man, threw this man's body in an unmarked grave. It's never found. You know, so like back then they would just have coups and just throw motherfuckers. Like Tafawa Balewa, for example, first prime minister, he was just killed and thrown. Sarajuna, like so many people, so many leaders were thrown in unmarked graves. You know, but guys still living, breathing. You know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, if you even think back to Nigeria's first coups, a lot of those guys were 30. Like, imagine, like, I'm 30 now. Somebody gives me a whole country, like Nigeria to run. Like, even if you're super educated, you're going to make hella mistakes, man. You know, so it's just what it is. Our country never stood a chance, man. Like, Yakubu Gowon was 33 when he became head of state. Nigeria is 60 today. So let's just say 30 plus more. So Nigeria is 60. So what? He would be like what? I don't know. He's not 93. No. So I'm sorry. The coup was 1970. So maybe like he would be like what? Maybe 60 something or 70 something.
Mm-hmm.
He's still alive, you know. So, man,
that's nuts.
Yeah, there's just so many houses and so many families that would just perish if the truth comes out.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
Chaos keeps them safe. So I think they know that, and obviously, the closer I don't know. I just feel like certain things they gotta give. Like certain things have to be given, whether it be light or security or clean water. Like at some point, I gotta give something. You know. Like, and that's just where we are, where it's just like everybody feels like, what's the worst that could happen? A lot of these people in the protests are like, what can you threaten me with? Like, these men are picking us up, putting us in jail cells, extorting us, killing us, you know, so what's the worst that could really happen? And that's where I think the government's going to realize you're going to have to give something up outside of changing the name of SARS to SWAT. You know, something is going to have to give at some point. And that's where we are with everything, because they make so much money off chaos. You know, like a Ninja makes oil, ships it out to get refined, and then they get it sold back to them.
Yeah, man,
How?
I hope we keep the protectors on the ground keep their necks or their legs on the necks of the government, man. Like,
Yeah,
don't
I
let
hope
up
so.
at all. Like,
I honestly hope so. That's why I'm very happy these people are collecting Bitcoins. I get as much money in it.
bro,
I cannot have it regulated, and they just have to live with it. And I pray to God, all these young ladies doing what they're doing are well protected from what
bro.
could be. You
They
know,
said they've raised 62 million naira, and I think the government is shocked. Like, how the fuck are motherfuckers able to raise that much money? Because with 62 million, you can sustain protests. I mean, shit, you can start with that and build on even on a political party and political
listen,
movements. You know,
they
so
had
Rasman,
two. They had.
I think a,
Go ahead.
I think a lot of politicians and a lot of people in the government are actually freaking out about that because think about it, the billions of dollars that the government puts there, was it like $400 million that is attributed to the budget every year in Nigeria or some shit like that?
mm-hmm.
Most of that money never makes it to the people in Nigeria,
Of course not. Of course
Hmm.
not.
and over $1 million has been distributed to protesters in almost a week.
A week, bro. And I'm telling you, with Jack retweeting what he did, I think it's actually going to help the
Absolutely,
donation. Yeah, so
you
we'll
know,
see.
and I'm grateful that I when everything was going on yesterday, people on that side reached out and said, hey, some people are being scammed. People are reaching out to people are reaching out to various people around the world saying that they're FK and that they're Mo, that they're leaders of the protest, and that they should donate to their bank accounts and et cetera, et cetera. Like, is there any way you can help with the verification? So I immediately shot a note to the homies. I was like, we need to make sure that her, at least FK's account is verified so that people know that they're donating to the right place. And she got the verification.
Yeah.
No, it's huge. It's huge for that, right? And shout outs to you as well. Actually, I know your group helped.
Yeah, we raised $3,000 so far. So we sent that over to them today. So we've been working with the Sun Co. I actually just got off the phone with one of my guys who works at Twitter. They're working to get the emoji that happens with the hashtag.
Right.
Like, when the Black Lives Matter stuff happened, you do a hashtag and then something pops up. So they're working on getting that done for End Sars movement. But yeah, I mean, Jack coming through today too, Bitcoin, like, bro, these are huge moments that I hope get recognized later on. Not because it's Jack, but just the application of what's going on. Like, bro, I really hope. Like, I felt bad, like, being here, man. I'm someone who likes to be on the ground, who likes to be in the thick of things. I'm like, shit, like, should I buy a ticket and go to Nigeria? Like, cause this is a seminal moment. Like, imagine, like, I don't think people could, like, imagine if we change this country, bro. Like, bro, I am moving from America quick. Like, imagine Nigeria being like a fucking Dubai, bro. Like, you could bring all your friends, like, everything.
Not
even from a
even
capitalist
like
perspective. But, like,
nice
shit works, you know?
That's I'm just saying. Like, imagine Nigeria being even Ghana. Like, let's take step by step. Let's not even go to the bottom. No,
let's start with Ghana first, man.
Right, like let's talk
right.
about light. Let's talk about having light. Let's talk about like little things here and there,
man.
because aiming for Dubai is gonna have us like, let's just have light. Let's have water. Let's have kids knowing that they can go to school without strife.
Let's just start with that. Because Ghana is nice. Ghana
and again,
super nice.
I might be we might be non-Gen Z right here thinking too small, but bruh, Nigeria, like the hopes we've had for that country, and the fact that we are talking about $1 is 400 plus nine, it's sad. It's absolutely sad. So we have steps we have to take, and I honestly hope, like you said, they don't stop. I hope they continue, and I hope we can fund as much from abroad as we can, and just keep things going back there, because these kids are on it. I love seeing it. I love seeing the guy from Port Harcourt pull up. I love seeing the kids in Lagos talking about how the jollof rice is awesome. You know, like all these things that still make
Bro,
them
they're feeding them
Nigerian.
nice over there, man.
Right, like this commentary that like they're fighting for it, and they're still not losing the essence that is the Ninja, the Ninja spirit.
Niger blood, man. Niger
Yeah,
spirit, man. I really hope you can capitalize off this because, bro, if it's like me, I'm dedicated to getting as much money to them as possible. Like, yo, we need to be on these niggas' necks, bro. Like, I want light. I want roads. Like, the thing is, like, they should just know that if they don't deliver, we're back on the street. We're going back to Lekki Toll Gate. We're shutting down highways, you know? Like, the country, we have too much potential, bro, to just let it go to waste. You know, if this is the moment that it has to happen, so be it.
Yeah, I love it. And whatever we can do to amplify what's going on our side, we're going to do that. There's a lot of companies I know that they've reached out asking how they can help or contribute to raising awareness of what's going on. I've been sending them to the Feminist Coalition website, so I'm going to shout out that website right now, the Feminist Coalition 2020.com. Literally, Feminist Coalition 2020.com. Go there. You can donate to help the protesters. Get data, PPEs,
right.
Get gas masks, bailing them out of jail because the police are snatching up the protesters, locking them up, harassing them in jail, etc. So, if for everyone that's listening, I want to know how they can help. FK Abudu and a few other of those that have been the forefront of the protests have set up a website so that you can learn more about what's going on and donate to help the protesters that are currently being oppressed over there.
I'm really just proud of the women, man. I'm really proud of the work that they're doing. This is like some inspirational shit. Like, it's dope. It's dope. I can't remember the last time I was this inspired. I just realized that I couldn't just sit by and not do anything. I was like, yo, I just gotta hustle. Get some shit over there to them,
I agree.
100%. The shit is absolutely inspiring. I love the baton that's been given to them, and they are running with it. I would just see tweets like, "Oh, the ambulance is on its way," or "This is coming. Get the raincoats. Get this." I'm just like, wow, this is so beautiful to just watch. It's absolutely amazing.
You guys saw the video when the governor went to them and they were singing "Femme," right?
Yup. I think Femme is like David dropped Femme at the right time. That might be the protest song because the government is going to make an empty promises. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, and Davido is gra himself, so it fits with the whole thing. It's absolutely hilarious that this is the only generation that could do that in front of a governor. Everybody else would respect him, the governor. Yeah. Let's not do that. Like, these people are legit playing music over the governor of Lagos speaking. That's insane. That never happens any other time. Like, the respect that people are giving, people be out here calling governor daddy, this, that. No, none of that happens.
Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah. It's insane to witness.
I mean, too much we've let respectability politics take over a lot, So
that shit is gone. Even the shit that trended where somebody was calling their uncle Yemi, bro Yemi, and he got kicked out of the group family chat. Like, it's crazy. This it's insane to watch. It's absolutely funny because we grew up with a different mentality. So to just be that middle generation between what was and what is, it's just like I get what y'all saying, but it's just absolutely hilarious to see what's actually happening.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're just in the perfect position, right? Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we're also seeing. I mean, I remember when I was coming up, this shit my little sister gets away with now. Bruh. Like, there'll be times when it's like she'll say or do something, I'm looking at them like, so you're not gonna say anything? And they just keep quiet. And I'm like, so what happened? Like, was I the guinea pig in this bitch? Like, what is
Bro,
going on? And you're just looking like, so is it like what happened?
It's a weird feeling because you're happy for your sibling, but you're also like, but where's all that energy? Because I'd be like, are my parents just old? Do they not care anymore? Because they definitely are not keeping up with the situation like they were keeping up with our generation. Because my sister is her own person. They have full-blown back and forth conversation where she gets to put up why she feels a certain way. I never got that.
She will tell them this is why you're wrong. I remember we were on a video call. We were on a family video call, and like my dad or maybe my mom said something, and normally you know how we do that thing where you know that they might be wrong, but you're like, let's free it. Bro, my sister would not free the whole thing. She was like, no, this is why you're wrong. I don't want you to go outside and say this. Like she was explaining some Black Lives Matter like situation, and they were really her and my dad were going back and forth. I'm like, so you're not gonna stop? Like, at what point do you feel like you know what? It's not even worth it? And she kept on going, and I was like, well, you know, this is what y'all get.
Right,
what y'all get. Can't do nothing about it.
It's the weirdest thing to watch. It's absolutely. My sister's the same way with my parents, and they will full blown have dialogue, voices high, and like temperature rising, and I'm just there like I literally just watch it and just I'm like, like I watch it all the time. Like, and my mom, women like it's there's no tension there outside of like they look like they're about to just like a vein is gonna pop, and I watch it and I'm like I can't talk to neither one of y'all like that. I don't know why. It just doesn't exist. So I'm gonna just say how I feel. You say how you feel, and we'll be like, okay, this is it. We'll agree to disagree. My sister's not agreeing to disagree with my parents at all. Like you are gonna see the light, and that's how that is. So, like I said, it's a weird watch. It's a weird watch. Even with this, it's a weird but fun. But with seeing that song played in the protest, it's just absolutely amazing. Because this is really just the beginning. A lot of people are building and gaining their backbone, seeing what their mates are doing. So I can't even imagine where they're headed.
I just hope it's a domino effect across Africa, man. Like imagine you just come. Yeah.
I think it will be. Yes, we've been carrying last for a while now. We're the most populous black country. Nigerians, if we really get on it, we can fund a lot of things from out the country. Like it really will shock them how well the diasporans are doing. I think we could fund a lot of things from out the country. I think as things get better, a lot of people who are like stalling will start to realize like, okay, this is something I should back, And I think we all have a responsibility to call people out in the diaspora to donate. Obviously there's celebs doing what they do, but people don't realize celebs are intertwined with a lot of these politicians. A lot of these celebs, the tour dates, the show-ins, all that, they intertwine. So it's really going to be on people in the diaspora to help fund what's going on back home. And it can go as far as we let it, because Nigerians outside the country are doing very well. Like if you do stats of graduates, if you do stats of professionals, Nigerians are always involved in the entertainment business. There's a Nigerian name somewhere, So I think a coalition can happen, but a lot of people are like, I don't know, the team research. I don't know why the hell people are like, oh, after doing my research, I can now say end Sars. It's the dumbest shit ever. But I think there are a lot of people waiting to see certain things happen to then jump on board and donate. And I think if the youths are willing to step out every day and do what they're doing, it's going to go far. It's going to go far. And I think it's going to have its effect in the country. We are the most populous country. And I think it's crazy that we're the most populous country. And then you step outside Nigeria, it's hard to not run into a Nigerian. It's not like we're just the most populous country because we're not traveling. Like we're still all over the fucking globe. And we're still very much, populous in our country. So all this.
I mean, we have power. We have power, especially in the diaspora too. That's why, like, when they shut down some of the payment links for donations, I think the government was pressuring the companies, and then that's why we mobilized. Like, yo, we can raise from the diaspora and fund this, right? While you guys work on getting the local payment setup, and that's what we can do. And I think it's just us in the diaspora really realizing the power that we have, right? I think there are numbers that said 1.7 million Nigerians left Nigeria last year, right? So every year we're growing in number as a diaspora, and we have influence. We have funds. Like Nigerians' budget yearly is $34 billion, right? Last year, Nigerians in the diaspora sent home up to $30 billion, right, in remittance money. So look at the difference. Like, what are we talking about here? So if we channeled the money that we were sending in a more specific way, we could influence a lot. We could build infrastructure. We could, think about it. Like when you send money back home to loved ones, right? You're probably sending money back for hospital bills, school fees, like different situations. What if you could send that money directly to for health insurance, or for roads, or for schools to be built, right? And then you can hold people accountable, similar to what's happening right now. Imagine the feminist coalition becomes that sort of underground government that makes sure everything gets done. Like, these are things that we can do and do in a proper way. So it's something to think about.
I hope we're listening. I'll say we, because we all have to hold each other accountable. I hope we're listening. But yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Anytime, bro. Thank you for having me.
So where's the next trip, bro? Have you announced the next trip yet, or do we have to?
Yeah, we're going to Ghana in December, man.
Okay.
But this time it's a reduced number of people. But yeah, the trip is available. You can learn more at afropolitangroup.com. Heading to Ghana. Yes. Last year we took about 150 people. So this year we're doing about 40 people. So anyone that wants to learn more about our Ghana trip should just head over to the website, and Instagram is at Afropolitan Group. Yeah.
Cool. And where can the listeners find you, Eche?
I'm usually on Twitter at Eche Crates. Just follow me. I tweet some crazy shit from time to time. But other than that, I'm a child of God, and I'm an enjoyment. I like to enjoy life. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, my brother.
I appreciate you. On such short notice, with everything going on in the world, we appreciate you.
Yeah, man. It's all hands on deck right now, bro.
Yes, sir.
All hands on fucking deck. Like, these guys can't be out on the streets, and we're just cruising Tems. So anything, I've been, whatever I can do, bro, I'm available. Like, this is a very interesting time or serious time in our country's history. So if we show up now, we might be thanking ourselves that we showed up 10 years from now. So all hands on deck.
Very true. But yeah, man, I appreciate you joining the conversation, because it was definitely nice to have your point of view, especially as someone that I know we talk to offline about the future of that country all the time. So
awesome. Okay. You guys have a good one, man. Have a great night.
You too, brother.
Hey, bro.
All right, well.
Yeah, it was nice to have Eche on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, man. I think
you're going to Ghana in December?
No, sir. No, sir. We're going to Ghana at a different time.
You're definitely gonna make it over there. It's cool. We'll get permission from it's fine.
We'll make some calls. We'll figure out the sleeping arrangements, and we'll pull up in the right time. I love Ghana.
Does she know you love Ghana?
She, as in the country of Ghana, knows I love her.
Oh, I love trolling. It's so fun.
It's what you do.
You know the vibes.
Me, a peaceful man of God like myself, and how it's sad, but it's what you do. Yeah, I guess. Did we get to speak on your president catching COVID?
First of all, my president. I don't even know who my president is right now.
Right, I was about to say, which one are you gonna claim?
I don't know. It depends on which country decides to let me be a resident when I leave this place.
Maybe we get you a Ghanaian passport.
Not a Ghanaian passport.
You know, I don't know. Where would you like to claim?
The moon.
The moon. Okay.
The moon. Yes, I'm going to claim the moon.
Going to be a moonette? Stay
That's
there. Okay. Well, no, your president got COVID, got cured within days, was running the streets. I know you're happy he's healthy and safe. So just wanted to bring that up before we go into music of the week.
It's definitely your president more than it would ever be mine.
Wow.
That's your guy. I mean, you got him elected. Weren't you helping them organize all the, the ballot boxes are saying that they're being set up by the GOP? Weren't you leading that?
I'm in a blue zip code, in a blue borough, in a blue city, in a blue state.
Actually,
tell me.
How close are you to High Bridge right now?
How close am I to High Bridge?
Exactly.
Not
I rest
close.
my case.
Not close. At least 30 minutes.
I don't believe that. That's fine.
Driving. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
we won't talk about your zip code because,
Look, you're like I said, you've been to China more than anybody else I know. So if he caught Rona from anyone, if you caught it from anyone,
you're talking about China.
When you called it a China virus, I called you.
Wow. Shame on your president. We're going to go into music. We have to do that.
Too funny, man.
We have to do that. I have, let me see, I wrote my song of the week down. Are you ready? You have yours?
I'm ready.
Okay, it's a South African rapper.
Oh, okay. We're going to the South Africa.
And Shea Butter Baby.
Ooh.
I feel like you know the song.
Are you talking about the Nastiest of the Seas?
Yes, sir.
I like Nasty C.
No, he's a very, very talented rapper. His wordplay is no joke. I'm not sure if people have heard the song before. It is called Black and White. It is Nasty C featuring Ari Lennox.
Liddy.
Let me in your tempo, show me what you into. It could be so simple, black and white, yeah. You come first like window, I see all potential. It could be so simple, like black and white, yeah. I tell you some shit, I show you some shit, I buy you some shit, put you on some shit. Be the hand that catch your tears and still be your shoulder and shit. And if they can't be stopped from falling, help you get over that shit, I'm your bitch. You need to cross over and change how you live. I know something got you stiff, I got a lot of this love to give. I want you to call dibs, I got some land inside of my ribs beating for you, can you hear? And just like any home, you gotta pay your bills and promise not to disappear. I got a list, 1, never give up on you or me or us. 2, you gotta be patient with me like I'm patient with you, I don't like to be rushed. 3, these hoes will pretend to be happy for you, you gon' have to learn to call a bluff. Cool, 4, nah, you got it, I know you the one, we the perfect two. Future with you, bright as my teeth, long as bamboo. Walked in the room, caught my view, and I just knew that was my cue to walk right through. Extend my hand just like real gentlemen do, cause I'm well raised and I'm well groomed. Hi, I'm Boop, nice to meet you. Let me in your tempo, show me what you into. It could be so simple, black and white, yeah.
You come first like rain do, I see your potential. It could be so simple, black and white, yeah.
Don't make it complicated.
I be your bitch, you be my baby.
Cut off my bitches for my favorite. Black and white, yeah. Black and white.
So call me baby, cause you be putting it down on me. In my bed, on your stairs. When we loving, you know we don't care. All mine, like wine.
into. It could be so simple, black and white, yeah.
You come first like rain do. I see your potential. It could be so simple, black and white, yeah.
Don't make it complicated.
I be your piece, you be my baby.
Cut off my peaches from my favorite. What's all the playing around for? Just tell me what you down for. I'm G'd up like the ground floor. I couldn't be down more. Wherever did your crown go? You queen and you a nano. Drop it like it's for download. Link in the bio. I think that you're heavenly sent. Or better yet, girl, you make heaven make sense. That's why your heart got a fence. You let me in and you won't need that defense. An angel told me you gave heaven a scent. Yeah. Let me in your tempo. Show me what you into. It could be so simple, black and white, yeah.
You come first like rain do. I see your potential. It could be so simple, black and white, yeah.
Don't make it complicated.
I be your piece, you be my baby.
Cut off my peaches from my favorite. Black and white, yeah. Black and white, yeah.
And that, sir, is my song of the week. I want to shout out Adekunle Gold for having one of my favorite artists, Yinka, in his album. I don't think we've recorded since that album dropped. We spoke about it coming out. And is it true Made in Lagos is going to be pushed back with all the craziness going on?
Yeah, so it's definitely getting pushed back. I just think that the team decided that it would make more sense to.
It does. I'm very proud they did that.
Yeah, but also Wiz didn't want to draw any attention away from the protests, from what I understand. So I know that, he just, he's trying to be responsible, which I definitely appreciate. And he wants to make sure that everybody, that the protesters feel like, there's not like a PR stunt that's going on. You know what I mean? Like, he's not trying to push an album when his fans are being fucking harassed and beaten by cops in Nigeria. He's not focused on that right now. He wants to see his fans get what they want from the government that they have to deal with every day. So I think that's where his priorities are now. He's trying to make sure that his fans are safe. That's my take. I don't think he wants to be distracting away from the movement, which I can respect.
No, yeah, definitely. Obviously, I have nothing to do with it, the project. So it's just, as a fan, I 100% respect that. I think we have big things going on, things bigger than, not necessarily, music is a part of it, but it's just certain things going on that might not let you digest new music in a certain way, or just maybe keep people towards one thing. So very happy that, I respect the fact that he's pushing the album back. So I'll let you do your song of the week whenever you're ready.
So my song of the week is going to be a young vocalist from Lagos, Nigeria, named Tems. And the song that I'm going to go with this week is off her latest project. Did you hear her latest project, Broken Ears?
Yes.
Yeah, what were your thoughts about the project?
Well, she's very talented. I think that's not a question. I love the sound she gave. I was talking to, who was I talking to about it recently? I think I was talking to Yinka about how I love how she, I don't know, the individuality and the way she creates her songs. So yeah, I think Tems Tems is Tems. I don't know how to put it. Like, you hear, it's one of those, like, I think it's similar to Burna in the way that when Burna drops a new album, you have to forget about the old shit and just take this new shit in as is. I think Tems gives that energy as well.
For sure. Appreciate your review.
For more reviews like this, find me at.
It's too funny. So let's see. My song of the week is going to be "Damages" off of the Broken Ears album that Tems just put out. Love the record. Haven't been able to stop listening to it, and this is "Damages" by Tems.
Yeah.
Classic.
Back then when I was a new youngin', Charlie, you were trying to run on me. I've been going on my own. I've been doing things unknown. It's a day one, you running right back. Say the drama, you running off track. It's a one life, you tell me one life. One time, you tell me one time. Open your eyes, baby. Can you be wise, cause I'm a pride, baby. I'm on the way, I'm on the run, baby. Leave me alone, take it back now. I put you on it. Say you want chance to hold it on me. I feel now hold it back. Turn you right around, take it my way. So tell me what you need from me now. I know what you need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages now. Say, tell me what you need from me now. I know what you need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages, no more damages. Back then when I was a baby girl, I was yours and you were my world. Tell me what you wanna do for me now. Take you down and I will hold you to run my race, cause you run it right there. Run my race, cause you take it right there. I've been down, I've been running right there. I've been out, could you take it back there? Pull up tonight, I might be risky. Buy me stomach, forget the whiskey. But you still wanna get back with me. You tryna be the one and deal with. Don't got my phone, you're not a madman. You missed the way in at the one chance. I live my life, don't need you with me. Yeah. So tell me what you need from me now. I know what you need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages now. So tell me what you need from me now. You know where I need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages, no. So tell me what you need from me now. I know what you need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages now. So tell me what you need from me now. I know what you need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages, no. No more damages.
We're looking for more from her. We're looking for more features. The whole nine.
Indeed. Boom. Well, that's our songs of the week. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we?
That was everything, really. I want, obviously keep the attention in something that could change not just our lives, but the future of our country. Shout out to every single person that is helping this End SARS movement happen, this End SWAT movement happen. From sharing links to being on the ground to donating to bringing food, playing music, keeping the shit alive. We appreciate you all.
And our prayers up to all the Namibians that are currently fighting in Namibia as well against sexual and GBV. Congo is also going through their stuff. I'm looking through the post you sent me, BAWO.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what's happening in Namibia. Young people in Namibia have taken to the streets to protest against the sexual and gender-based violence crisis in the country. Then in Congo has the world's largest reserve of coltan. Coltan is a critical mineral needed for electronic devices, aerospace, and the innovation of technology.
We're talking about the iPhone.
Oh yeah, the iPhone we talked about earlier. Yeah, so basically companies like Apple, Google, etc., when they make products, They make products that create this mineral that comes from the Congo called coltan, and the Congolese government is being alleged to allow companies to come in and enslave men, women, and children to mine these materials. And these men, women, and children in the Congo are accused of being tortured, starved, raped, and killed. So we just want to raise awareness about that. South Africa is also having their own ongoing fight against gender-based violence and rape. And then Ivory Coast, child labor operations and trafficking as well. So, man, we just got to keep the whole continent in prayer and
Yes.
show our
And
solidarity with
please
everybody that's working fighting.
donate. Fund from abroad. Make it happen.
Straight up.
If you can't be there, it's not a long talk. Help how you can. These people need food, water, security, ambulance, whatever it is, first aid kit. Every little thing helps the movement go on. So fund. Your tithes that you're helping your church with, send it to movement. It's doing something bigger. So please,
True.
we have to do our part. I beg.
This is true.
That is episode 63. We are back. We promise you way more episodes. We are taking our break. We'll try as best to, keep in touch with everything going on. We'll try to get people that know what's going on back home as well to update us once we can. Obviously, this is a show about conversing and, keeping you guys up to date with what's going on in the continent. So our biggest thing is to find a way to just spread the news and get shit going. So it's, obviously we cover music a lot, but this is much bigger than that. So if we get interviews or we just get, emails that can update us, we'll share them with you as the episodes drop.
Appreciate
Peace,
you all
love,
for listening.
and chicken grease.
That's it.